From Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, this is Sports Bash presented by TicketBash.com. TicketBash.com, where memories are made affordable and where you'll never pay a service fee. Sports Bash is also presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund, a group of like-minded individuals trying to raise awareness to our future generations of all possibilities of success other than just college. For more information, visit www.lookwhomadeit.org. Sports Bash is brought to you by the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Every customer is considered family at the Embassy Diner. Mention Sports Bash and get a free dessert with your meal. By Living Legends Memorabilia and Collectibles in Rockville Center, Long Island's go-to store for sports, entertainment, and political memorabilia since 1996. They're also available for charity auctions. Mention Sports Bash when you come in and get a free autograph photo. Give Warren a call at 516-826-4000. Stay tuned later in the show to find out about the Living Legends item of the week. By Bearcat Billing Service, your trusted partner in medical billing. Experience the Bearcat way, personal, professional, and tailored to your needs. Give Gary a call at 516-796-2400 and tell him Sports Bash sent you. By the Marty Lyons Foundation, the official charity of Sports Bash Media. For more information, go to martylyonsfoundation.org. And by Collaborate Studios, a content marketing production facility. For more info, call them at 516-509-8277. Hi again, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm Peter Schwartz, 516-465-3990. That's the number to call. Welcome in to a Thursday edition of Sports Bash here on Governor's Comedy Club podcast. Make sure you're following along on all the socials for Governor's Comedy Club podcast. You want to follow them on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube, and also Sports Bash Media and all the usual suspects, X/Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think we're on TikTok. I have nothing to do with it. I don't do TikTok. Did I tell the story last week? Tony, you'll remember this better than I can. Did I tell the story of the lady at UBS Arena that flipped out that night at the Islander game?
Not that I recall.
You don't recall if I did that?
No.
I was the night that TikTok got shut down for a day.
I think you may have told me that off the air.
I thought it was off the air.
I think it was.
Well, just to make sure. So I was coming out of an Islanders game. That was the night. Was it Brent? Oh yeah, it was Brent Sutter night. I'm in the elevator coming down from the press box to leave, and some UBS Arena employee gets on the elevator on the suite level, and she's flipping out that TikTok went away. Like, you would have thought this lady lost her dog. That TikTok went away. So it didn't bother me. I'm not on TikTok. My kids say I should be, but I want no part of that. So whatever. I wasn't planning on talking about TikTok on the show. I don't know why I even mentioned it, but I guess it's just the day. It's been a long day since 8 o'clock in the morning. Make sure, again, you're subscribing along the Governor's Comedy Club podcasts and all that stuff. Later in the show, I'm excited about this. We're going to talk to Pete Bleiberg from Section 11, high school sports here on Long Island, also Mark Hudak from the National Football Foundation. And together, they are going to be putting on and bringing back the long-running, what used to be the Boomer Esiason Outback Steakhouse, U.S. Healthcare, whoever the sponsor was at the time, the Empire Challenge. It's not going to be called the Empire Challenge anymore, but that was the game that featured Long Island versus New York City high school football seniors. Final all-star game, final chance for graduating seniors to play one final high school football game. Now, the game that Boomer put on ran through right before COVID, and then the whole world shut down, so the game stopped and it never came back. And you had high school coaches all over Long Island that were begging somebody to bring that game back. And now it's coming back on Saturday, June 21st at Hofstra at 1 o'clock. And we're going to talk to Mark Hudak and Pete Bleiberg about that and the excitement level around that. We're also going to play Stump the Wiz. Well, by the way, we talked about this off the air. This I want to bring up. And I'll bring Wiz in for just a second here while we talk about this. It is a 9-part question that was submitted this week. And I always say this on the show, and Wiz, you've been with me doing the show for the last 41 years. Woke him up. He was sleeping. what do I always like to say about decisions on the show? What is my line that I like to say?
It's a democracy, not a dictatorship.
That's correct. See, very good. You follow along, you listen, you pay attention. And people at home, it's a democracy, not a dictatorship. Although sometimes, I think,
it's fine.
I like to put the hammer down once in a while, right? So it is a 9-part question. Now, I have gotten some criticism in the past with some of the questions, especially recently, that we've been giving you, that in 2 minutes, it's very hard to come up with 5 or 6 correct answers to a question. Would you agree with that, right? So one time Tony and I caucused about it. How many should we get as an acceptable, answer to the question? So I felt the need today, because it was a 9-part question. What is a sufficient amount of correct answers that we would require out of the 9? So I have a working number in my head. What do you think, as the person who will be, again, you have no idea what the question is going to be, but what do you think would be a fair, out of 9, what should you be able to answer later on in the show?
Like 2 out of 3 is a good answer.
2 out of 3?
No.
It's 9 parts, not 3.
No. What I meant by that is like 6 out of 9. That's what I meant.
6 out of 9. Okay, 6 out of 9. Tony, what do you think is a fair number?
9.
9 out of 9.
Okay, that's fine.
So, now, to be honest with you, I was really thinking 5 out of 9. So, you said 6.
But,
Tony is a bastard, and he said 9. And I'm gonna say 5. So what think?
Okay, 5.
8.
Yeah.
So what happens if we added the 6, the 5 with the 9? That means you'd have to come up with more than the 9. That doesn't work.
No, I don't think it does.
I think since he said 6, I think it should be 6, because I was gonna say 5. He said 6.
Let's do 6.
Let's do 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
6 out of 9. Okay, that'll be the answer. 6 out of 9 on Stuff the Wiz. We'll also look at this week, so you can get him off the screen now. If you want to.
Yes.
Okay. We're just busting your chops.
I know. I'm
messing. All right.
I'm playing along with it.
All right. We'll check out. Now, see, I have to apologize. See, speaking to somebody like that is not becoming of a general manager of a football team. So I should not, unless I'm on the phone. And again, I have no control over the roster of the New York Long Island Arena football team. I'll pick the coach, and he'll have final say. But really, the only time I tell somebody to shut up is if they're making no sense whatsoever in a team meeting. Like, that's probably when I would tell somebody to shut up. So I apologize for saying
it's fine.
But please be quiet. Mm-hmm. That was better, right? That sounded better. A little bit more politically correct, right? That was a more peaceful. There we go. We'll also have the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day later in the show. Near the end, we'll remind you about an upcoming edition of FOP here on Sports Bash, and we are very excited to welcome in a couple of people a week from this Tuesday. So a couple of days after the Super Bowl, we're going to have a big Shangri-La party in here for FOP. Just so I will tell everybody about it a little bit later on in the show. The Super Bowl is coming up. And I touched on this a little bit the other day. I have no interest in this game. I really don't. And again, this is not Peter is a pissed off Jets fan and the Jets aren't in it. But I'm sick of the Kansas City Chiefs being in the Super Bowl. And quite frankly, as a New Yorker, I really can't get excited about the Eagles being in the Super Bowl. And I'm not a Giants fan, but still, there's that Philadelphia, New York, thing going on. And I rooted hard for the Eagles when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I mean, that was a no-brainer. But it's just the game doesn't. When you have the Super Bowl, there should at least be some interesting aspect about the game. And to me, there's nothing interesting about this game. Nothing at all. 2 great teams. There's no question about it. 2 great teams are playing in the game. But enough of the Chiefs. And I could care less about the Eagles. I would have loved a Washington-Buffalo Super Bowl. I really would. I would have even just get the Chiefs out of there. If it was Buffalo, Philadelphia, then all bets are off. I would have been all over rooting for the Bills in the game. And the Bills finally getting back after losing those 4 straight in the early 90s and all the problems, and now they're closing down their old stadium next year. How great would it be if they finally got to a Super Bowl before the old stadium is torn down? But to me, there's nothing at all interesting about this Super Bowl. Tony, I'm getting a text message that there's seems to be an issue on Facebook watching the show.
I was just looking at it. I didn't have any problem.
No?
Okay, Let me double check.
Just want to make sure. Just one of our most starch viewers of the program.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. Just want to make sure we're okay before we proceed. YouTube is good? Everything is good on YouTube? There it is. I see myself on Facebook. There we go. It's working.
YouTube, I'm having issues, but it's there on Facebook. And if I don't get YouTube issues fixed, I'll upload it to YouTube as soon as.
Okay, there you go. No problem. All right, that's it. Like again, a lot of other problems in the world to worry about than whether or not we get on the air in a timely fashion, because that's what the internet is all about. And having YouTube and Facebook at our disposal later on is just fine with me. No problem. But anyway, I will get back to the Super Bowl. So I could care less. I am looking forward to lots of good eats Super Bowl Sunday. I am looking forward to lots of the great commercials. But as far as the game is concerned, I'm sorry to be, Debbie Downer about this, a party pooper, whatever you want to say. I'm just not excited about it. There's nothing interesting to me about this game. And I don't know how the rest of the country feels about it. I haven't really taken the pulse of anyone. Later in the show, I'll ask Wiz what he thinks about it, and we'll get an 18-minute answer about it. You're laughing because you know that's true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Like we'll have on Tuesday's show, we'll have somebody from New Orleans. We'll have an NFL reporter on to break the game down, and we'll do it again, next Thursday as well, because we have to cover it. Obviously, we're a sports talk show. You have to cover the Super Bowl, but just from a personal standpoint, I really could give a rat's ass about the Super Bowl this year. End of story, period. That's how I feel. Now, what I am interested in from a football standpoint is the way Aaron Glenn is putting together his coaching staff. And I said the other day, while a lot of Jet fans are, pounding their chest and ready to run through a brick wall because Aaron Glenn's press conference on Monday, and I was kind of like pumping the brakes on it the other day because, hey, look, I said this the other day, enough of winning the press conference. I want to win games. I want to compete for a championship. But I like the way that Aaron Glenn is putting together his coaching staff. And it starts with defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, who was out of the NFL, taking a year off this year. And now he'll be the Jets' defensive coordinator, which I thought was a great hire by Aaron Glenn. And this is just par for the course in being a Jet fan. Even like myself, not trying to get too excited about Aaron Glenn being the Jets head coach, but now he's starting to make really good hires. And if he puts together a really good coaching staff around him, then my excitement level is going to jump up. And I think Jet fans' excitement levels will jump up because now, he's a rookie head coach, but he's building people around him. And by the way, that's kind of how I'm approaching being the general manager of the Long Island Arena football team. What the hell do I know about being a general manager?
Yeah, there's a first for everything, right?
I wasn't talking to you. Because I don't have much of a sales background, but I'm starting to do that. But I'm going to surround myself with a good staff. We've got a director of operations that was hired. We got to hire a director of sales. We got to hire a head coach. But I'm going to, as a first-time general manager, I'm going to surround myself with a team of people that will help me make this successful. But that's what Aaron Glenn is doing with the Jets. And I'm starting to see the names that he's talking to about offensive coordinator. His name escapes me, but late last night, apparently the Jets are reached an agreement to bring in the assistant special teams coach from the Broncos to be their special teams coordinator, and he is very, very highly regarded. So that actually has me somewhat excited about the Jets as they proceed here in the offseason. Then, of course, you start to get, after the Super Bowl, you'll get into free agency and draft preparation and all that good stuff. But the Jets do it to me every year. They do it to me every year. I'm not going to get excited about it. I'm not going to get crazy. And I said that the other day as Rob from Lake Success is calling into the show. Let's take him. But I get excited about this all the time. I tell myself I'm not going to, but it winds up happening. And now Aaron Glenn is making me get excited about the Jets again. And they're going to suck me in like the Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they suck me back in. 516-465-3990, number to call. Rob is in Lake Success. How are you, my friend?
Peter, are you with me?
I'm with you.
Knock on wood, I'm doing really, really well. I wanted to ask, did you have this gentleman on? Because I actually just came back from a run. So this gentleman with the Long Island football yet? Was he on already today?
Coming up in 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, hopefully he's listening. And I shot out a tweet to you. My dad was the commissioner of football in the early 80s. So I used to go to his games, and it was in New York City, the PSAL, the Public School Athletic League. And he ran the whole city program. And I used to meet a guy you would remember who's probably, in my opinion, the greatest sports announcer in New York history, Marty Glickman.
Yes.
Marty, and he did Jet games. I know back when you were following the Jets, he was a Giant guy. He did the Knicks way back from the early days in the 40s and 50s and the NCAA. But Marty was just a gem. He actually gave Marv Albert, the great Marv Albert, an opportunity, if you're familiar with that story.
I am, yes. It's a legendary story.
He took a day off, and he said, how many people nowadays in this sports world of today would have the goodness in their heart to give an up-and-coming guy? I don't think they'd be, very few.
I've taken, at the old show, when we did the old show at the airport every morning, when I had to take a day off, Wiz sat in for me, so I gave him a chance to do it.
You know what? Well, that's because you're a good dude. But unfortunately, nowadays it's not that way. But anyway, listen. I want to just also touch on. I'm thinking going forward now when he was running the PSAL back in the day, they had a game. The Catholic schools played the PSAL. Now the Catholic schools were always stronger. It was kind of taboo for Long Island to meet up against the city. For whatever reason, they didn't do it, but I think Boomer might have been the guy that came up with this idea years ago with Long Island against the city.
Well, it started, Rob, when Boomer first started that game. It started as Nassau versus Suffolk, and that grew for a few years, and then they expanded it to go Long Island versus New York City.
It's I think it's a great opportunity for the kids. That he get a chance to play at Hofstra Stadium if they still have it there. And
that's where it is.
I actually have seen I've seen the game, and it's a great kind of last for some of these kids. It'll be their last game. Maybe they'll play in organized football, or some of them. A lot of them are going to wind up going because these are the better kids from both areas go play in college. And
you know what else? You know what else, Rob? Too, and I went to the Boomer game year after year after year. And the interesting thing about that game for a lot of seniors is that if you looked at the program and you looked at the rosters for both schools, you saw a lot of these kids say uncommitted. They had not chosen where they were going to college yet. For a lot of kids,
when did he do it? In June?
In June. It's going to be June 21st. So it's actually for a lot of these kids that are uncommitted and don't have a college to go to yet, there's college scouts that are going to be at that game. There could be some guys who have flown under the radar a little bit and get noticed in that game, and they wind up getting an offer to go play in college.
You know, I got to talk to you about someone off the air. A really great story from St. John's, a walk-on. He's from the area, but I'll tell you about that. You should have him on as a guest. But last thing I want to bring up in professional sports, number one, you know what? Your Yankees are going to the World Series again. The whole season. We're going to fast forward. I'm making a prediction right now. Yankees Dodgers. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Because there's no one in the American League that can really go up against the Yankees. I believe. I know in a short series anything can happen, and unless the Dodgers or the Mets somehow can knock them off, it's going to be that again. And we go day by day, week by week. But that's kind of the way the sports are now. And as far as your Jets, you know what? I would keep. And I'm not a Jets fan. But I would keep Rodgers because, and I think he's going to come back. I really believe he wants the money, and there's no reason to not let him play a year because the Jets don't have a quarterback right now.
Right.
And I think you're in a much better spot than the Giants are. As far as I'm concerned, we're in the abyss right here. This is the worst time in my life I have ever seen. Peter, you know what? We could talk for hours, but I know you want to get yes. I'm going to go on.
But Rob, before I let you go, I want you to know that I want you to be my guest at one of the arena football games this year.
Oh, you know what? I heard them talking about it this morning. It would be my honor, and you know what? I must say, I really want to sit down with you one day. Bring in my sports collectible because the stuff I have is going to blow you away. I have the Jets' first game in 1960. I have museum pieces. I have the Knicks' first game in '46. I went after.
So let's lock it in, Rob. Let's lock it in. I got to take a break and get to the guests. But let's take it.
Enjoy the rest of the show, and I'm tuning in.
No. I'm not. Don't hang up the phone yet. I just want to tell you. You look at your calendar, and you come up with a couple of days, a Tuesday or a Thursday, and let's lock this in.
You know what? You'd have I want to show it off. I
hope I get a word in edgewise though when you're here.
I want people to see things they're never going to ever. I got a Yankee Stadium game from 1923, the opening day against the Red Sox. I mean, stuff that you're never going to find. You're never going to find. That.
Okay.
I'm looking into this, going after it. But listen, should I hold on or what should I? Because I can't look it up.
No, I got to take a commercial break, and then I got the guests coming on. So
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll text you on Twitter or I'll put it in a message or I'll do it on Instagram.
All
okay,
right,
buddy.
Oh, sounds good.
Talk to you soon, Pete. Bye-bye.
You got it. Take care. I love Rob from Lake Success. What a character.
Wow.
I think there might be some shows on FAN that he's not allowed to call. Because I think he has rubbed people some... I love him. He came to Bradley's first football game.
Oh, really?
At Merchant Marine Academy. When he saw that Bradley's first game was going to be there, he's like, I got to come see this kid play. So we love him. We love Rob from Lake Success. Coming up, we are going to be joined by Mark Hudak and Pete Bleiberg to talk about the new National Football Foundation Long Island versus New York City High School All-Star Football game. Coming right back after this. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk about our fantastic sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage.
Living Legends Memorabilia and Collectibles is the best place to find autographed entertainment and sports memorabilia. We guarantee the authenticity of each and every item in our shop to provide you with quality collectibles anytime you browse our inventory. Our memorabilia includes autographed photos, sports equipment, jerseys, hats, and other paraphernalia from current athletes and legendary sports stars. If you prefer the entertainment industry, we have signed posters, albums, and photographs from classic movie stars and today's celebrities. To give back to our community, we participate in fundraising auctions for local charities. Call us today to request a specific autograph. find a special gift for someone else, or schedule an event. Living Legends Memorabilia and Collectibles.
Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com. I'm Peter Schwartz. This segment of Sports Bash is presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund, a group of like-minded individuals trying to raise awareness to our future generations of all possibilities of success other than just college. For more information, visit www.lookwhomadeit.org. Well, it's been a while since there was the Long Island versus New York City high school football game. It was an event that was put on by Boomer Esiason for many, many years. COVID shut it down. It never came back, but now it is coming back thanks to the National Football Foundation. It's going to happen on Saturday, June 21st at 1 p.m. at Hofstra, and a big part of that game is Pete Bleiberg from Section 11, and he joins us here on Sports Bash. Pete, it's Peter. How are you?
Very good, Pete. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Sorry for the technical problems with Zoom. Is Mark with us also?
I'm not sure. I know he had the link, but he might be experiencing the same problem, so I'm not sure.
Well, we'll get Mark on another time as we get closer to the game. But first of all, for you and Mark, congratulations on getting this game back off the ground to bring this event back to Long Island and to New York City. It's a great event.
Yeah, thank you. Ever since, as you mentioned, it got shut down in 2020 due to COVID, we've been asked every year. I've been asked every year if we were bringing the game back. So the excitement's been there surrounding it, so everybody's very excited about it coming back.
What was the impetus finally for bringing it back? Because I know there were some other people in the past few years that were looking into trying to bring the game back. I know Joe Vito, the great Roosevelt High School coach, was trying to do his part in bringing the game back. What was finally the impetus and the reasoning that the game was able to return?
Well, like I said, the interest was always there. The problem, the hurdle that people kept running into at a roadblock, and was always the helmets and the insurance factor.
Right.
When Boomer ran it, and I had the privilege of running it with him for 24 years. His organization, his foundation, had all those things covered and had the ways and means to take care of the helmet issue. Rydell came on board, has been extremely generous with us. We're going to be using their Axiom helmets at a greatly reduced cost to get them out on the market. We're going to do some big marketing things with them. And obviously Mark Hudak, who's having the opportunity to underwrite this game, is an insurance salesman himself, so he deals with the insurance world. And Mark's had some experience putting on big game venues. He put the Cortica Jug in the Meadowlands and put 43,000 people in the seats there, and then 2 years later put 41,000 people in the seats at Yankee Stadium. So his big game promotion experience, his background in insurance, and our relationship with Rydell was the thing that got us over the hump for this.
Dave Ettinger, the great Garden City coach, and I don't think that Garden City has lost a game in like God knows how long, like decades it seems like. It's we live in the Levittown area. My son played high school football at MacArthur, and it just seemed like Garden City never, ever loses anymore. But Dave Ettinger is going to be the head coach of the Long Island team. Who's coaching New York City?
The New York City team has been Dan Lamberg from Erasmus Hall High School.
Okay.
Dan and Dave both have served as head coaches in this game in the past, so they know exactly what the procedure is, the format is to follow. So it should be we should pick up right where we left off.
What was the selection procedure like to pick the players? There's so many great high school football players that come out of Long Island and New York City, and it's you're inevitably, like in any All-Star game, I mean, somebody's going to get left out. What was the selection procedure like?
Well, each team selects 50 players. They're all graduating seniors. Long Island is comprised of Nassau and Suffolk County and the Catholic schools. We have a staff of 10 head coaches made up of the 4 coaches from Suffolk and Nassau who go to the Long Island Championships, the top Catholic coach, and then we select out of the Nassau and Suffolk a head coach, and we replace them or back them up with the second-place finisher in their league. So it's a 10-coach, 4-administrator group. We meet. We met on Monday night at West Islip High School for the Long Island team. The kids who make first-team Long Island are guaranteed a spot on the team. We put them in positions we think they're going to be best suited for in that game, and then we just fill in the blanks that are left over. Each coach is representing their own league, and they come in knowing all the players in their league who should, be in this league. And the problem, as you mentioned, 50 kids fills up very quickly. From the city, it's a little different format because you're dealing with the 5 boroughs, and a lot of coaches don't get to see other kids play. So after they select the all-city team, any athlete that wishes to participate, their coach sends their highlight film to the position coach from the city team. They evaluate the film, and they come to the meeting, which we're meeting next Wednesday night at Lincoln High School. And let's say we're looking at defensive backs, and we need the top 6 defensive backs. That position coach will have evaluated film and say, okay, here's my top 6 guys, and it's all on film evaluation.
Selfish question on my part, only because of the community I live in. Did Jack Orlando from MacArthur make the game?
That name off the top of my head, I don't have my paperwork in front of me. That's not ringing a bell. He might be on there as a. We also select backups in case people drop out, but I'd have to look at the chart to be honest with you.
Yeah, he should be. There was a great story coming back from cancer. I was just curious if he had made the team. So June 21st, it's going to be at Hofstra, 1:00 in the afternoon. I know when Boomer put that game together, there was the tailgate party. There were. The Jets came and had the Jet Fest set up, and the Islanders were there as well. What kind of atmosphere, other than the game, will fans be able to expect when they come to Hofstra that day?
Well, this first year out of the gates, we're not going to be doing a tailgate. We wanted to make sure we took care of the football aspect the right way and the production of the game. We will be highlighting the championship girls flag football teams from Long Island and New York City in a halftime game to promote girls flag football. The Giants and the Jets have been extremely supportive of all the high schools in the city and Long Island, helping to fund that to get it off the ground. And we figured it would be a perfect atmosphere in front of a great crowd to highlight those kids who won their championships this year. We hope down the road to get back to some pregame festivities with the interactive Jet Fest and hopefully some type of tailgate party. But we just wanted to get the game aspect off on a good foot this first year.
Totally understood. We are joined on the program by Pete Bleiberg from Section 11. He is along with Mark Hudak and the National Football Foundation bringing back the Long Island versus New York City High School All-Star Game. It's going to be on June 21st, 1:00 at Hofstra, and everybody is excited about this game coming back. You just mentioned flag football, and it's not that it's off subject to this because it's going to be part of halftime. It's amazing to me, Pete, how big flag football has become, not just on Long Island, but all around the tri-state area, all around the country, and it really has exploded at the girls' high school level over the last couple of years. How surprised, or maybe surprised is not the right word, maybe happy, ecstatic that this has happened, that the game of football has been opened up to so many other people?
Well, it's outstanding. The pro teams in New York State, the Buffalo Bills, the Giants, and the Jets, held a symposium about 3 years ago at MetLife Stadium. I was fortunate enough to go there. It was their kickoff event. And they're funding and working with the organizations and Nike to provide uniforms, footballs, and flags for the schools for startup costs was a great help for everybody. We have currently 34 varsity teams and 9 JV teams in Suffolk County, and we have interest from about 4 or 5 other schools next year that are looking to get on. It's a great opportunity for the female student athletes It's another spring sport, and it has exploded. So it's gaining more and more momentum as we move forward.
And the last selfish question I'm going to ask is that I am looking forward to working with you and to everybody on Long Island with the new arena football team that's coming to Nassau Coliseum. And Long Island loves its football at all levels, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of excitement about a professional team coming to Long Island. And just looking forward to getting your thoughts on having another professional football team here on the island coming up in June.
Oh, I think it's a great thing. I think Long Island needs more pro sports. I think it will draw. I know, listening to your press conference when a couple weeks ago when you opened up, you're going to try to be Long Island based with the coaching staff and the players. I think that's just going to draw some more attention. There's a lot of great football players from Long Island, and back when they had the Dragons, I was fortunate enough to work the first year there, doing a little spotting for them, and they drew great crowds, and they put a great atmosphere on. It was family friendly, and I'm sure that you guys are going to do the same thing. So we're excited about that as well.
Yeah, there's no question. February 21st, we're going to be unveiling the name of the team and the logo, and we had over 150 responses so far on our website for people to name the team. So I'm just wondering if you were one of those 150, and what would you name the team?
No, I wasn't, but I support what you said. I'd love to, if there's no trademark problems, I'd love to see the name Dragons come back. I think it was classic. I think the logo and Sparky and everything else that they had associated with it, and just resurrecting the franchise.
And June 21st winds up being a really special, historic day on Long Island, because not only do you bring back the high school all-star football game, but that night will be our second home game. So that's going to be quite a football day on Long Island that Saturday.
That's great. And then to be a way to tie people in from going from one side of the street to the other side, that would be outstanding.
That's going to be a massive tailgate party, won't it?
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Absolutely.
Well, first of all, thank you again for joining us. And tell people how they can get more information about the All-Star Game, tickets, when those will go on sale, and how can people get more information about the game as the game approaches in June?
Sure. What we're going to do, each of the players are going to be provided with their tickets at our screening and physical nights, which is going to be the 24th and 25th of February. They'll get their pre-sale tickets out. We're also going to go online with GoFan. People will be able to purchase tickets online through that venue, which we use in Nassau and Suffolk County for all our championship events. We will have promotional posters going home with the kids that they're going to put in their schools and in their local businesses and towns that support it. We also have some radio shows that we'll be providing information on for a couple of weeks leading up to that, which will have the ticket information and through sponsorship. So we'll have a website set up so people can go to that, so there'll be plenty of opportunities for people to purchase tickets.
And you make sure that we get all that paraphernalia here as well so we can help promote it. We would love to get both coaches on at some point, either it's on Zoom or if we can get them here in studio on a Tuesday or a Thursday, we would love to have that happen.
Well, we will make that happen. We appreciate the exposure. Thank you.
Awesome. Pete, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. Best of luck with the game, and looking forward to helping be a part of it a little bit on June 21st.
And thank you, and best of luck to you with the Arena League.
Thank you so much, Pete. Pete Bleiberg from Section 11 high school sports in Suffolk County, but obviously a tremendous thing that this All-Star football game is coming back. By the way, the old Boomer game, if you go back and look at the rosters from all of those games, and you see not just Long Island, but New York City, how many players played in that Boomer game that went on to play in the NFL. It's amazing. You look at it, so many guys, and selfishly again here on Long Island, to see somebody come up through the football circles on Long Island and get to play in the NFL. But for a lot of them, the first stop before college was playing in the Boomer Empire Challenge. So that's going to be great to see, and I'm excited. That's going to be quite a day. I don't know how I'm going to possibly breathe at the end of that day, because I can tell you right now, my day that day is going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, helping to get the field ready at the Coliseum. And we're going to probably have youth football games going on that morning on our field before the game. And then I want to break away because I want to go watch the high school game too, and then come back for our game. So you talk about logistics too, because I am sure there's going to be a big crowd at the high school game. And of course, my intention and my hope is that we have a huge crowd at the Coliseum, and I would like nothing more than to make life miserable for the Nassau County Police Department that day. You think we could do that? I love the police officers. Listen, I just want to have some fun with them that day. Like, hey, listen, this parking lot is filled. You have to go to the Coliseum, but you can't park there because that's where the official tailgate party is for the whatever the team name is going to be. You thought I was going to blurt it out.
I did.
Just don't call it Long Island.
Football team.
No, we will not be the Long Island football team.
Thank
I
God.
can guarantee you right now.
Thank you.
I can eliminate.
Thank you.
I can eliminate a number of things. I can eliminate Long Island football team.
Good.
There was a suggestion that I said if the name of the team winds up being this, I will quit. And the name was suggested was Long Island Kraken.
Oh no.
I said to the person who hired me, first as the advisor for the press conference, and then ultimately when I got the offer to be the GM, I said, if this team is named the Long Island Kraken, I quit.
Yeah, thank God.
I quit. Luckily, it did not come down to that.
Yeah.
But February 21st, that will be announced. But that's going to be a logistic fun on Hempstead Turnpike that day.
Any other names that it won't be besides Kraken and football teams?
It will not be the Long Island Whiz.
Okay.
It will not be the New York Walker Troopers.
I'm guessing you're also ruling out football club also.
Well, it will not be football club.
Thank God.
It will be the blah 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 arena football team. But there's an official name that comes with a sports franchise.
Oh.
So but let's say for example it was the Long Island Surf. And that's not what it is, and it was not even submitted. That question wasn't even submitted. But it would be like the Long Island Surf arena football team. But that's not necessarily how you would always refer to it, but officially and business-wise, that's how it would be. Did you vote for it? Did you submit anything online?
I clicked on the Dragons. That's where I put my vote, but that's
you didn't click on the Dragons, you wrote it in. There was no click on a suggestion. You had so did you fib? Did you not fill out the form?
I didn't fill out the form, but I did like the poll question. That's what I did.
The poll question was not the submission. It was on goentfla.com. If you click on Long Island and you go to name the team, there was a form to fill out. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you were to fill out that form, you don't have to do it now because the decision's in all likelihood been made.
Okay.
What would you have put down as the name of the team?
If they could do it legally, the Dragons. New York Dragons.
That's what you would have done?
I'd want to see them back.
All right. So we'll have to see. Wait, February 21st at a yet to be determined venue.
If they somehow manage to get the rights for it, it'd be great. But if not, as long as it's something that fits with the fabric of Long Island, then I'm okay with. Or if not that, Long Island Sound.
That was a very, very heavy submission. A lot of people wrote that in.
That would make a lot of sense.
But we'll see. Tony, did you vote?
No.
You did not.
But I made it known on here. I like the Long Island Bash. I like that.
Somebody called up with that. That was a good one. Yeah.
That's where I would go.
We'll have to take it under advisement.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. All right. We got lots more to do in a short amount of time when we come back. We're going to play Stump the Wiz. We're going to have our Sports Bash Media poll question of the day. And we are going to tell you about the next FOP is coming up a week from this Tuesday. And who knows what other trouble we can get ourselves into with 16 minutes to go on the show. We're coming back with more right after this.
In 1982, the Marty Lyons Foundation began with a single heartfelt mission: to bring moments of joy and hope to critically ill children by granting wishes that make their dreams come true. Since that day, we have touched the lives of over 8,500 families, raising over $43 million to grant wishes that offer a beacon of light in their darkest times. These precious wishes cost an average of $6,700 each, and your support is crucial to our mission. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. And with 76 cents of every dollar going directly to supporting our families, you can rest assured your support truly changes lives. The Morning Lions Foundation operates 11 chapters in 14 states now, working tirelessly to reach as many children as we can. This dedication goes hand in hand with our commitment to transparency and accountability, earning us top ratings on Charity Navigator, Great Nonprofits, and Candid, which underscores our dedication to those we serve. The Marty Lyons Foundation grants wishes to children ages 3 to 17. And what really makes this foundation so special is our willingness to grant not only a first wish, but also consider a second wish to a child who continues to battle a life-threatening illness. We stand by these children, offering them hope and strength through the power of dreams, giving our children the courage to wish for more.
What's your purpose in life? Is your purpose in life to live in the big house and drive the nice car? No. Your purpose in this life is to make it a little bit better for those that follow and realize that we live for today to see a better tomorrow.
Visit MartyLyonsFoundation.org to learn more and get involved.
Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com. I'm Peter Schwartz. This segment of Sports Bash is presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund. Welcome back. 516-465-3990 is the number to call. Again, thanks to Pete Bleiberg from Section 11 Sports here on Long Island, as we talked about the return of the Long Island versus New York City High School Football All-Star Game, June 21st, 1 p.m., at Hofstra at Schwartz Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. Speaking of Hofstra, that is the outstanding institution where Wiz earned his higher degree of education.
Yes.
Graduating a few years ago. A proud Hofstra Pride, right?
Yes.
Student?
Yes.
You had a good 4 years there?
2021.
You graduated in 2021?
Mm-hmm.
So you ended up with a lot of remote there, right, probably at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very end, yeah.
I don't even know why I brought that up. It was such a depressing time to live through for everything. But, we were able to fight through COVID and come out on the other end hopefully better off than we were beforehand. Are you ready for Stump the Wiz?
Yeah, let's see.
Now, are we in agreement? Because Tony was being mean and wanted you to answer all 9. I said 5, and you said 6.
Yeah.
So, what do we do?
I'll do 6. I mean,
6?
It's split the difference, I guess.
Okay, we'll do 6. That's fair enough. Okay, here we go. So this is what we do on Stump the Wiz. We ask you to DM your best sports trivia question, the Sports Bash Media social media channels. If we pick your question and you stump the Wiz, you win a prize. Today's prize, courtesy of me, the general manager, 2 tickets for the Entertainment Football Association Long Island franchise home opener. Now remember, in the past, we told you it was June 7th, but the schedule changed. Our home opener, Saturday, June 14th, Nassau Coliseum at 6 o'clock. Today's contestant is our good friend Glenn Goldstein from Flushing. He always sends in good questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time researching this, and the other day I got the message, and he came up with a really good one.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? We're going to have 2 minutes on the clock. Tony is going to take care of that, as he always does so beautifully. Here's the question from Glenn Goldstein. Name the 9 head coaches who have coached 3 different NFL teams. 9 head coaches who have coached 3 different NFL teams. Tony, do you have a pen? I left my pen in the car. Here we go. Thank you. Because I was doing business in the car before coming in here to do the show. Are you ready? We're going to ask you for 6 of them. So there's 9 head coaches who have coached 3 NFL teams. We're going to ask you for 6 of them. 2 minutes on the clock. And away we go.
Well, Pete Carroll, that's obvious.
That is 1.
He's going to have his 4th soon.
Yes.
Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells is 2.
I mean, unless you
2 down, 4 to go.
I mean, unless you count his 5 minutes with the Jets, you could say Belichick, but I'm not going to do that.
It's not.
Yeah, of course. I figured it wouldn't be him. No,
35.
No,
135. Plenty of time.
Okay, yeah. Mike Dick only had 2. It was only with the Bears and the Saints. I know
Yeah.
that. I know that. Mike Shanahan. I know
3.
that because I know he spent some. I know Shanahan.
3. We got 3 down, 3 to go.
I don't think it was Mike Holmgren because I know he was with the Packers and the Seahawks. I know it was not. I know it was not him. So I don't think it was him. Marty Schottenheimer, who I think should be in.
No, Marty Schottenheimer's not on this list.
How? Marty Schottenheimer is coached. He's coached the Browns. He's coached the Chiefs. He's coached the Redskins. He coached the Chargers. That's 4.
You are 100% right, and we will give you that one because Glenn did not have it on his list.
50 seconds.
I think also Chuck Knox was also another one.
And you got it. That's
Bills,
that's 5.
The Rams and the Bills, Rams, and the Seahawks, I believe, too. What did I say?
You know what? My bad on the Marty Schottenheimer. I didn't add it. It was on. It was submitted. So
It was submitted.
My fault. Totally my fault. Hey, when I do something wrong, I take blame for it. Responsibility. Teach my kids that.
It's fine.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. You got one more to go.
Norv Turner.
Norv Turner is it. You have won. Outstanding job, even with a little bit of trouble from me because I screwed something up.
It's fine. It happens.
So we apologize to Glenn Goldstein. He could still grovel and ask me for tickets for the home opener, but he does not get them as a result of the Stump the Wiz attempt.
Who were the other 3?
The other 3. Tony, you have any guess on who the other 3 are, or are you just still asleep over there?
Yeah, I have a guess.
And then you're looking at it.
That's a little more than a guess. It's more like
Well, yeah, I have the list in front of me, so I was. Yeah.
He's got the list. I have to give him the script because he's got to follow along and play the right music. John Fox.
Yeah, I was thinking him. Panthers.
Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil, yes, that's another one of the Chiefs and the Rams.
Jack Pardee.
Okay, that I would not have guessed Jack Pardee.
Okay, but that's it. That was the answer.
I knew that John Fox, time with the Panthers and the Broncos, and of course time at the end with the Bears, and with Dick Vermeil, of course, time with the Eagles and the Rams, and also the Chiefs in the early 2000s.
How about you hit us with a little This Week in Sports History?
Well, speaking of the Chiefs, listen, like you and me and Tony as well, probably, and most people that are not in Kansas City, Kansas, or Missouri, I don't know what the people in St. Louis probably think. They probably hate it regardless.
I think they're just completely pissed off at the NFL St. Louis now because they lost 2 teams.
I should know. I know some of those people.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time in this span of 6 years that the Chiefs have not gone to a Super Bowl, and that was the 2021 AFC Championship game, which was this week in 2022. It was against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Chiefs were actually up 21-3, up around a little bit before halftime. The Bengals came all the way back, scored 18 unanswered points. I think it was unanswered, but it was tied, went to overtime. Patrick Mahomes threw an interception the Bengals would catch, and they go down the field. Evan McPherson kicks the game-winning field goal. Bengals to go to the Super Bowl. They then lost to the Los Angeles Rams 23-20 in the Super Bowl, which was a pretty good Super Bowl, not going to lie. But don't worry, the Chiefs use it as motivation and beat the Bengals the following year to win against the Eagles. Then the next year they beat the Ravens to go and win against the Niners, and this year they just beat the Bills and look to see if they can do the first ever three-peat in Super Bowl history against the Eagles once again.
Yeah, it's, again, sorry to just revert back to my feelings at the beginning of the show, but I just don't care.
I'll give you my thoughts on it, too.
As long as I've got buffalo chicken dip on the table, I'll be fine. I'm going to be completely vegged out, not caring about the game.
I'll be frank with you, too. I could care less who wins the Super Bowl.
Well, I thought you were going to ask if you can come over, and that answer would have been no.
No, I was not going to ask that. I was just going to say that I don't care who wins.
Okay.
I've seen the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's 2 teams that have gone to here a lot. I generally care most about the food I'm going to be eating and the commercials
go.
I've been seeing. I don't even care about the Kendrick Lamar halftime. I mean, I
Oh
don't
God, I'm going to the bathroom at halftime.
care. I went to the bathroom at halftime when Rihanna was on 2 years ago. So yeah.
It is time for the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day. We post a new poll question every Tuesday and Thursday on the Sports Bash Media X/Twitter page. We were doing it every day, but now that I have a full-time job, I can't do it every single day, so we're just going to do it the days of the show, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Sounds good.
Today's question, there's been some discussion that the NBA is going to take their game in alignment with the rest of the world, other countries, and shorten the time of the quarters from 12 minutes down to 10 minutes. So here's the question. Should the NBA shorten the time of the quarters from 12 minutes down to 10? And it's very simple, a yes or a no.
No.
No. I say no also. Tony, what do you
No.
say? It is confirmed no. Don't change a thing. Adam Silver, if you're watching, commissioner of the NBA, you can do two things. Stop putting games overseas.
No, I actually like that.
I didn't ask you about that. No games overseas, and don't play with the 12-minute quarters. The Living Legends item of the week is something that once I probably get a few paychecks under my belt from the new job and the millions that are going to be coming in, I would like to get this from Living Legends. A signed 16 by 20 framed and matted photo. Give my friend Warren Heller a call, and I'm going to give the phone number slowly because on Tuesday... I'm going to give the phone number slowly because on Tuesday, I accidentally gave out my home phone number.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So let's do this very slowly. Living Legends in Rockville Center. 516-826-4000. What is that again?
516-863-4000.
No.
I got most of it right.
No, now you're giving people a completely wrong number to call. 516-826-4000 is Living Legends, Warren Heller in Rockville Center for the Joe Namath signed 16 by 20 framed and matted photo. And that is it for that. Now, we told you about FOP. We're doing this from time to time. It's called Friends of Peter. The first one was Amy McGorry from News 12. Fabulous show that was. I thought that was great.
Yes.
A lot of fun. The next one, we had Sean Winters from Winters Bros. Again, another absolutely fabulous program. Last week, we had an emergency FOP. It was my son Jared, who I thought did a great job.
Yes, he did.
Breaking down the Jets. I thought it was phenomenal. We can now, and we did it on Tuesday, we're going to announce it again now. A week from this Tuesday, February 11th, Friends of Peter. Not just one friend, two friends. John and Mark Cronin, the co-founders of John's Crazy Socks, a great Long Island-based company. Great people. And they just recently became sponsors of the Pro Bowlers Tour. We saw them on TV last week. And they're going to be in studio with us on February 11th. I hope they bring some socks with them. I think that'll be good, right? Yeah. What size sock? Tony?
It's free, so any size is good.
Any size is good?
Sure.
Okay. I doubt I want to get some for my family, but I doubt that they have a sock that'll fit my big fat foot. Size 14 wide.
Wow.
I'm size 13 wide.
You're 13 wide?
I have no arch.
Really? Where do you get your sneakers from? Because I have a very difficult time finding sneakers. My wife, Cheryl, usually finds online. I have to get my sneakers online.
Just go to Dick's and get the New Balances. That's what I do.
Well, they say you have choices of 13s. I can't get 14s at Dick's. So John's Crazy Socks here on Tuesday, February 11th. Coming up on Tuesday on Sports Bash, we will start to preview the game that I don't care about, Super Bowl 59 between the Chiefs and the Eagles. We'll have someone of note, NFL columnist, writer, broadcaster, someone to break it down. We'll do that on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. That will do it for this edition of Sports Bash. Thanks to my guest, Pete Bleiberg. Thanks to Tony Walker. Thanks to Wiz, everybody here at Governor's Comedy Club. And Sports Bash is presented by Ticketbash.com and the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund. Sports Bash is sponsored by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, by Living Legends Memorabilia in Rockville Center, by Bearcat Billing Service, the Marty Lyons Foundation, and by Collaborate Studios. For our entire crew, I'm Peter Schwartz. Thank you for watching. Sports Bash returns on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Have a great weekend, everyone.